Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the moth-hawk project. Today we're gonna be finishing this beautiful piece of, yeah, uh, leaves, and then once we're done with that, we can then finally continue with another piece of leaves. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that today. Yeah, there. My tongue. I burned my tongue while eating. Well, technically, I burnt my tongue on the soup, so not while eating, while drinking the soup. I was eating the soup would be very weird, but yeah, I was not in control of that situation. But it's all fine. It's all fine. Nothing to worry about there. But yeah, it's gonna be a shame I won't be able to taste any chocolate for at least 2 days. But the good news is that I'm actually very happy how far I am at what I have been doing. Was it Sunday? Yeah, probably. So today I actually had to work. The funny thing about that was that I was working. I was busy doing the thing that I was ordered to do. And then once we went to the software that we had to put it into, the software was like, "I can't read this," and I'm like, well, why can you not read this? And the software didn't give me the answer that I wanted. So, yeah, need to figure out how to do that again. Hopefully the bug is going to be disappearing, otherwise we're in a lot of trouble with the damn annoying piece of garbage that's going to be happening. Because, well, the main problem is that the STL file that I actually supposed to be uploading didn't upload to the program that we need to edit the file, and that is a very annoying thing. Normally it should work. Probably it's gonna be the processor of the PC and the amount of how do you say that, triangles that it actually uses. Oh well, you know, such things happen. I mean, they should happen. At least a couple of days, probably a couple of days too, or that. So yeah. Well, I'm a little bit busy at the moment with, you know, figuring out what happened. I also have been working on my other drawings. Because, well, those drawings also need to be done by, February. Babu. Lovely. I'm getting the, great old-fashioned treatment of, oh yeah, you're finally away from the flu. Congratulations. Here, have an absence. So that's gonna be fun. So yeah, probably gonna be very tired after this. Even though, you know, it's just gonna be drawing grass, so hey, you know, no biggie, no deal, no problems whatsoever. But yeah, the amount of stuff that happens, well, I'm gonna have that. It's gonna be a lot. So, yeah. I have been working on my drawings, and I must say, I'm very impressed on how far it now looks. It looks now far more clean than before. First, it was just looking like a very bland skeleton, and now it's far better. It at least has hair. Now I need to also get a it also needs a lovely little bit of a mustachio. So then there you go. So yeah, gonna be doing that as well. Gonna be working on that, fixing that part, doing the stuff. Probably gonna be showing you later on how it looks once it's fully finished, because, well, you know, I need to do it. And I am now continuing working on the bit of the Story of Awesomeness, because, you know, I figured out finally what to do with it. So I'm gonna be recording that as well. This week, yeah, this week. Gonna be recording it, getting this stuff done, getting the vocabularies done, because holy hell, I am terrible at vocabularies. I'm actually very terrible at general English as well, so don't worry about that. It's not my native language. It's not. It's definitely not. So yeah, we're now getting actually quite well done, because as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to finishing the part. The main problem here is that we need to finish it in such a way that, you know, it looks like it is going on top. So we have the top right there, and we need to move all the way upwards. Of course, you know, not everything here is the same, and the same way of handling it is also not the same. For instance, right here, we need to do it very slowly, and the other part, we need to actually do it very quickly. So, oh well, big and tiny, and the other one is tiny and very small, so we need to be like very aware what we're drawing and how we're drawing it. Not leaving too many, not leaving this behind is a very important thing. So yeah, takes delicacy, takes patience, takes a lot of things in consideration. And while you're doing it, just relax and just take a deep breath, because holy hell, you need to. And not by the bread I mean like, you know, the food kind of bread. Just the breath. Ugh. Words. Very difficult. Very difficult when you have actually a very tiresome day, because, well, you know, I went on the train, I had to work, and sometimes, you know, it drains a lot of energy out of you. Well, you know, the other days are like, well, yes, welcome back to the moth-hawk project, that kind of idea. So, the Monday is always for me the hardest day in the week. Normally it is, well, it is one of the hardest days in most of the days anyway. But yeah, Monday, fun day, because, you know, you have to work, you have to do stuff, you have to do things, making considerations on how to do those things, and making sure that you please everyone while doing it. And that is important. You know, I could have done what I would have done if I would not. I could have done what I would have done. That probably doesn't make any sense, but oh jeez. Yeah, I could have done the walk today, because I actually could, you know, today actually my mom picked me up on the train station when I went home, but yeah, I could have walked if I wanted to, because it was a quite good and sunny day. It was a bit cold, but I could have managed it, and then I would have been home before 7, and, you know, I would have still streamed. But yeah, I did some bit of walking, then Mom picked me up, and we went home, and then got ourselves some good and delicious food, so that's good. Now, let's continue further to the drawing. As you can see here, the amount of stuff I'm pulling into here is not always a lot, but it is, you know, the variety in the way of how things are, you know, transferred towards the person, towards the thing right here, towards our goal, is very important. We don't want to have like flat lines towards it, otherwise things go bad. Oh hey, Don. Nice to see you. Yeah, Monday gets us all. I know, right? It's the most difficult one. The most problematic one. The one with all the chins. They always got me chins. The chins got me chins. It's always the one with all the chins. But yeah, Monday. One of those very difficult ones to comprehend. And yeah, gonna be very busy with this drawing. It's very intense, as you can see. It's just, you know, me doing the same thing all over again. It's just repetitive. This is actually what I'm doing. Like, this in global is what I'm doing. I'm just literally making the thing go round and round around the rows. But the main problem with that is that because of this art style, it takes some time. Because, well, you need to implement the idea of depth and detail. And you need to implement that you need to not make it too obvious that you're trying to go for it. You want it to make it look natural, alright? You want to make it look like it is naturally going that way. If you don't do that, then, well, a lot of the progress in the idea around it goes to waste. This is why I'm also constantly changing the position of my screen in such a way that I can implement that effect that I actually want to keep still while drawing. So let me show you this. This is the idea. So I turn the screen and work further. The more I do this, the better it gets, because I'm doing this like the idea of, you know, the idea of a stable continuation moving forwards towards the objective is almost achieved very quickly. The main problem now is that I need to fill in the gaps, and sometimes these gaps can be a little bit difficult because how they are placed. So if we have a square, if we have like a star, for instance, we can just fill up this part, this part, this part, and this part really quickly. But because we have like a weird shape that, you know, doesn't make always sense, it always needs to be filled up from there, then it needs to fill up from there, and then there, and then there, and then constantly, you know, gets towards the end goal right here. Well, at least that is the idea. The main issue is, however, you know, that the idea needs to be done properly, correctly. For instance, here I cannot erase this, but I can erase this because, well, you know, it's not on the same layer. And these guidelines will help us to get to the point where we want to. Of course, these guidelines also are important because they create variety in our drawing, which is necessary to maintain the idea that we want. Yeah. I'm still a little bit hazy right now, but that's because of you know, I had the flu, so therefore, you know, things like that happen. All these leaves, they're so beautiful always to look at, and it's always detail. You know, there's no right or wrong when drawing leaves. You can draw the leaves however you want. You can draw like big leaves on a tree, whatever. Or you can go for the cool artistic idea of, you know, just drawing a lighter color and a bigger color and then some color between it, and then, you know, draw the line over it. So I have like this is my tree, and then, you know, I put it like this, and yeah, let me just get this a bit more done. So I have this tree right here. Oh, look at that, a beautiful tree, right and mellow as always, beautiful. And then, you know, you have this kind of idea. This kind of tree you can always see in anime, so don't worry about it. You can always see it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, my approach is totally different. Tree, meh. Leaves, meh. Everything is detailed. Why? Because that's how I do things. I like to do it like that. And yeah. And once we're done with the trees in the background, we can then fuse it all together and make the drawing again a little bit more tinier and a little bit more relaxing for our PC. Because PC doesn't like this drawing. Absolutely not. He hates it, as you can see. He's like, oh my god, why is it 6.4 gig? Yes. I was wondering the same thing. Then I asked a friend of mine to explain to me why it was that way. And he said like, yes, it's because you put too many layers down on one place. And it calculates all those layers. And I'm like, really? It does that? Amazing. Even though, you know, it's a very bad thing to do, the thing that I do. Like, this is not very good idea. You know, you want actually the less amount of layers, but I can't afford that. If I do that, then, well, you know, my drawings will suck, because all of this detail needs to be transferred in my idea. And if I draw an eye over here, and then a nose over there, and then, you know, a big mustachio man with some ears and some great hair like this. And then you have a nose. There you go. Mr. Herbert. There you go. Mr. Herbert suddenly appears on the tree. But don't worry about Mr. Herbert. Mr. Herbert is going to be just fine. He's just, examining our great and glorious drawing right now. He's just figuring out why he just left his garden. Mr. Herbert is a very good person. Trust me about that. He always attend the garden perfectly well. Even though, he's always like, get off my lawn, you damn kids. Or like the economical statement back in 1985 was so much more better than before. It's a fun thing, Yeah, and the funny thing here is that I'm actually doing quite well on this drawing. And I'm very fond of it. The most funny thing is that the cartoony style of my drawings is way different than the deep details kind of idea. The deep detail is well, look at that. There is detail now. And then you look at the picture again. It's like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Why is there so much detail? Oh my God, why? And I'm trying to figure out how I can spread the detail around the eye without making the eye explode from the event, which is this right now. If my eye would take a moment to realize what's going on right now, it would have exploded because, well, too much detail is a very bad thing. You can have not a lot. You cannot have a lot of detail. You can have too much detail. You can have not enough detail. And all those things need to be explained. So, for instance, if I draw something that has too much detail, it means that, the detail can cause a major problem in your drawing. For instance, if you have a drawing that is, if a drawing has two inconsistent art styles, and you don't transfer the art style well enough to the other place, you're gonna get a problem that can cause major issues in the way of how it is drawn. For instance, if you have a very detailed picture right there, and then you have a very bland suitcase where you place it in, this is the suitcase, and then you put a beautiful picture in there, and the beautiful picture is all this beautiful drawing, and then the suitcase gets lost and everything in it disappears in the vagueness of what the hell did I just saw. It doesn't make any sense. The believability of that the suitcase is a real thing becomes very slim. And believability is important to make sure that to make sure that the viewer is entertained. All right, the viewer needs to keep its attention on your drawing at all costs. It needs to entertain the viewer because that's how art works. It's an entertainment. It's an entertainment for the eye. It's an entertainment for the mind. It's an entertainment for anything that has something to do with whatever art's supposed to be doing. So, since that you want to keep that attention on the mind and on the eyes, you don't want to cause that to be shattered. You don't want that believability to be shattered, otherwise, your art will look very awkward, very different than what's supposed to be mending. So if you have a very undetailed drawing and then you draw more undetailed stuff on it, that doesn't mind. But if you have something too simplistic, for instance, just this, and then you draw something very fancy eye frock with some with some beautiful mouth on it, and blech, and then it's some legs and arms, so like this, there you go. And You go, whoop. So I'm just drawing a very, very terrible frog right now, but yeah, the frog is there, the frog is there, but the cube doesn't fit with the frog. If you get my point, it makes the frog stand out too much, and then the attention on your drawing will get lost because they only see the frog now, and once the eyes are like, I have seen the frog already 200 times. How much did you saw it? Probably 3,000. And I don't mind, switching to the next channel because, well, we're already done seeing the frog and we already know what the frog is. So, the whole idea behind it is that, the eyes, they want to be entertained. They want to grab some popcorn, invite some friends, and, watch a movie together. But because the movie is the same thing 200 times and it doesn't change anything, it's just like, hello, my name is, and then, it repeats the same sentence, it repeats the same thing, like, hello, my name is George, do you want to buy some Swam Wow? And then, everything with that is like, oh my god, it's like watching an advertisement, and your mind doesn't like that. Your mind is like, oh my god, please stop, we have seen this already for the 300 times, we don't need that. And your eyes are also like that. Your mind, your eyes, everybody is like that. They don't like too repetitiveness. Repetitiveness can be very good, but you need to do it in such a way in art, in a drawing, so that it minimalizes the effect it has. So if you want to repeat something, for instance, the leaves that I'm now using, the technique, you can do that. But make sure that you change things up within the drawing, therefore creating variety, therefore keeping the eye entertained. Because as I said before, a duplication of a clone is not very good entertainment for the eye. The eye doesn't want that. The eye just doesn't like that. It's a very, very judgy boy. And, a lot of this comes into practice, You just go to an art museum and look at variety of art. If you look at modern art, you can see certain things as well. For instance, with Cubism, it is a different kind of art style. Everything is very cubistic because, everything is with cube. So you have a guy who has a nose. Well, the nose is gonna be cubistic. The eyes are gonna be cubistic, and and everything is gonna be cubistic. But still, though, everything is gonna be much more. It still can be, an art piece that your mind is going to be like, oh, wow, this is actually very entertaining to see. Why? Because, he probably used different kind of colors to it. He uses flashy colors combined with other colors that stand out, and therefore, creating this art. But once you reach the point where, you just watch an empty table, and you watch just a screen with only two spots of paint on it, things are going to get really bored very soon. It might be inspirational for some people, but some people doesn't mean your eyes. Your eyes are going to be like, what is this? And then, because they cannot make out what it is, they cannot make out the shape, they will leave it like, oh, it's a blank. And then that's the end of the story. Oh, very, very good. So we now already see the idea of what detail can do and what non-detail can do to the general idea of how to keep your eyes entertained, I would say. So you can go for different art styles, you can go for simplistic art styles. You just need to keep in mind to keep consistency in your drawing, but also make sure that not everything is the same. So if you use a texture too many times, it might be seen, and being seen that you're using the same texture over and over and over again is a bad thing. Therefore, it's important to keep variety within the texture itself. Most textures that are from brushes cannot do that. So, as I said before, if you have a texture that does this, and you copy this every single time, one time, if you would copy it too many times, so one time too many, the whole texture is going to be shown, and therefore, the drawing is going to be, the person is going to see everything that has that texture. And because everything is going to be having that texture that you use too many often, the idea of that the texture is there to entertain goes away. Ho ho ho. Yes, it fades out of existence because it has been used too many times. It's like, giving a puppy some food, and then he expects you to bring more food. And eventually, the puppy is sick and tired of that food and wants some different brand. And then you could say, like, well, you're not gonna get a different brand. But he's gonna be like, no, I want that brand. I want that new brand because it tastes different. This is why, variety in food is also a thing. You can stick to the same food with dogs. They're not that picky. However, though, I did something, didn't I? I did something wrong. Hold on. Whoa. So we're gonna do a double check. Just in case if I drew with a red pencil while doing this. So back to the pencil. Alright. So we're almost there. We're almost at the point where we need to be. There you go. Of course, you want to make sure that you're doing it like this. The idea is here that we're gonna go for, like, the effect that we want. So we're gonna add the parts that we need right here. And now we're gonna move towards the point that we want. So we're gonna make the curly effect, the whirl effect, I would say. So we're gonna make it like a whirlpool. We're gonna drag everything in that way. That way, with things that might not have been dragged in are now dragged in. This way, we can see that how this is ending. Alright. And now we're gonna go that way. As I said, this one was definitely not able to do in the 10 minutes that I did last time, because this thing is a big boy. Big boys require special attention. I mean, really, they require a lot of attention because you cannot make a mistake here, because otherwise things will be seen. Oh well, you can make mistakes, but you cannot make the mistakes too often, or you cannot cause certain mistakes to happen. For instance, leaving a gap behind. That's absolutely a dead sentence for the whole believability, and we don't want that to happen. So we just gonna carry on. As you can see, that there, right there, yeah. I'm gonna carry on. Alright, now we're gonna go over here. And then over here. Constantly turn with the drawing so that you can see what you need to do. If you don't do that, things might go out of hand really fast. Yep. Right here, for instance. Now we're gonna go over here. There you go. Alright. Let's see how much still left. Ooh, this is a hard choice, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. Oh boy. We just want to keep up with the move. We just want to keep up being able to do things the way I like to do it. And then we're gonna go here. And then over here. Oh. That's a little bit too sharp. We don't want that. So yeah, we're gonna make this quite easily done just by doing the things that we do. We're drawing the shark dudes, but of course we want to draw the shark dudes in such a way that it works quite well. The same thing as storytelling. Two styles don't mix. Yep, indeed. Two styles don't mix at all. It's a very bad thing. Well, you could try it, but then you need to do it in such a way that it makes the story believable. Like you're telling it from somebody else's perspective, while telling the story from the other perspective as well. So you're telling it in two ways, but it's very hard to pull off in most cases. And those who tried, yeah, I believe a lot of them failed to do so. I want this to be like that, and I want that to be like that. There you go. This way, things actually go well now. Alright, tomorrow I will be starting with the recording on the Story of Awesomeness. And then day after that I will probably show you how far I am with the drawing that I made for February already. So gonna be two things coming up soon. Of course, you know, I'm not the best at doing things on time because, well, you know. Alright, let's see. Let's see if we can zoom out. Yep, that's exactly how I wanted it. Lovely. It turns out great now. Nice. As you can see, it's a little bit of a brrr, it's like, you know, a gap-sucking black hole, which is good, and we have a moon, so that's also lovely. And we're now 30 minutes in. 30 minutes of drawing intensely while holding the pressure on the pen. Whoa. By the way, this is horrible to do on a normal pencil. If you do this like on a normal pencil, probably the pencil will be already sucked out with no ink in it. Because a pencil has that natural way of being not full with ink, you need to actually wait until it's back on. And then you only have like 50 minutes and then it's again fully out. Which is actually quite annoying. And that's why I always prefer the pencil, the things without the fuel, without the blue fuel. Or red fuel, I don't know if there is red fuel, but yeah, the one without blue fuel. Just pencil with pencil head. There you go. I don't know if you then call it a pen. Yeah, probably. So don't use pens if you want to do this kind of idea, because yes, you can pull it off. Yes, I did it before, but it's gonna be a little bit of a difficult approach because most of it's gonna be really it's gonna take you a long more time because, well, you know, you don't have always the fuel to draw, and therefore the fuel, the fluid is gonna be slow coming into it, and because you're doing such quick actions, so because you're doing this very quickly all the time, the thing cannot keep up with your rapid produce of art, and that is sadly a thing that happens. But with a pencil, of course, you can just sharpen your pencil and then boom, done. Alright. Now I need to figure out what to do here. And there you go. As you can see, I'm following the guidelines to create this kind of effect that bends it off so that it doesn't look like, you know, it's forced in that state that it was now in. I need to save before anything else happens, because I have a feeling that this thing doesn't like to be saved right now. And my suggestions were correct. It doesn't like to get saved because I saw the stagnation in it. The evil stagnation. In the thing like, I am processing. And then I'm like, no you don't. Don't you dare. And then, you know, it sometimes crashes. Well, at least Critter and I are in a good relationship when it comes to crashes. It's not as bad as the other software I've been using for quite a long time. And I'm not talking about MS Paint, I'm actually talking to 3D software. Sculptris, oh, that thing was a nightmare to work with. I created good art with it. But oh boy. Oh boy, 3D sculpting software that is free and absolutely garbage. Yep, it was not even up to date properly. You could probably not run it anymore. That's how badly up to date it was. The worst thing was that it was actually, you could not have more than 10,000 pixels, triangles, before things explode. And I reached that quite a lot of times, and that was a major problem there. Normal, of course. 10,000 triangles is like big giant brain stuff. You don't want that. But sometimes you need it for like head pieces, arm pieces, armor parts. And then you load it back in, and then the whole damn thing crashes. So sometimes I had to be like, alright, lower that down on resolutions, lower that down on resolutions, lower that down on resolutions, and then put it all together. And sometimes even then it didn't work. But I created some cool art with it, so that's good. Now, let's see. We're almost there. We're almost at the point where we can say like, well, congratulations. You did it. You successfully drew again one of the bushes of leaves that are in the trees. And I would say like, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. My greatest gratitude. I like to thank my mentor, my great physician, and all the people that, you know, helped me achieve this kind of goal. You definitely should do that. You definitely should praise yourself while finishing this. Trust me. It helps. It is a great idea. And why is it a great idea? It motivates you to continue. And why is motivation a very important thing? Because motivation is the key to continue your work. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't do that, then, well, you know, you're probably going to be like, this thing bothers me so much and I don't know why. This thing bothers me so much and I don't know why. And then the next time you're going to be like, I don't want to work on this. It feels bad. And then the next time you're going to be like, you know what, forget it. I don't want to work today. And that's why it's important to keep on with the changes. You want to improve? Well, congratulations, you're going to improve. It's like, you know, I work to improve as well. And I see like, yes, I have now successfully done the tree part. All right, cool. I deserve a pat on the back. And here you go. Random applause coming in. Yay. Well done, me. Thank you, me. I feel so proud of you. Alright. Now we're going to pick up the color. Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to go for some coloring. And we... there you go. We hit a jackpot. Right there. Now we're going to pick up the color and we're going to color it all in. Of course, we're going to color it in with this one, not the other one around, because nobody wants to see very vague coloring. Nobody. So this is our natural color, as you can see. It's very natural. It's green. I don't think this is the right green to go with start, but it's green. And now we're going to change it up. We're going to change it up to this kind of green because that's... Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. A little bit less. Like so. Yeah. Much better green. Alright. And now that we've done the green, we can now start with our great and glorious idea of making sure that every single thing here is... the whole lines around it are sealed off. Of course, saving is key here because, well, you know, you don't want to be doing things like that in a wrong way. Size. 5 is good enough. 5 is good enough for me now. Alright. So as you can see, we're doing this quite easily. We're just, you know, erasing the colors. And now the hardest part has been done. We have successfully drawn the part where, you know, well, we drew the leaf part. So our hardest part is done, and now we only need to do the coloring of it, and then boom, bing, banga, bongo, we're done with this one. So, oh no, wait, we also need to blur it, but that comes all later. That comes all later. Don't worry about it. We got this. We got this. So, yeah. Why would you create such hard and difficult drawing if you ever, you know, want to color it in and then you realize like, oh man, this is so much time consuming, and then you're like, well, I like my drawings how I like my cars. Very complicated. And I cannot drive a car. So congratulations me on making that reference absolutely miserable. But the funny thing is that this is actually true. If you ever want to create, you know, something, and you want to do something, and some people ask you like, why do you want to do this? And you have no idea why. You just felt joyful with it. You can just say that. It's like, I like this because I like to draw rainbows, or I like to draw whatever I wanted to draw in the first place, and it makes me happy. Such ideas are very, very easy to understand because, well, you know, if you don't understand it, then, well, it's sometimes very hard to understand. Like, why did it make you feel happy? You had wasted 2 months of work. I wasted 2 months so far because, well, you know, I really like to draw this, and once it's drawn, I will feel accomplished. And it gives you a sense of pride. So why not? Why not draw? It's always great. I mean, even if you could draw something very bad or very shitty, it doesn't mean that it is bad. It is just, you know, not fully developed properly. And with some time and some effort, you can just work around it. You know, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of practice to turn that around. I mean, really, if you ever saw me first drawing, I had a very bad draw style. I only could draw, you know, the casual, you know, pew persons. That was my first and ever thing with some mountains like this, mountain 1, mountain 2, and then some background with some shoots. So yeah, it was one of those things that was not very good. I was not good at drawing at first, and then, you know, I developed further. I developed the way of the dinosaur, and then, you know, I followed up with that. I actually went from dinosaurs to dragons, and then from dragons to whatever I needed to do. So yeah, that's also why I have such a very bad development of people. It's one of those things I avoided so hard. You don't want to know. It's like, all right, name one person, and I would immediately jump out of the window like, oh my god, persons. Nope, I'm not gonna be talking about persons today. Good day, sir. Did you know about the owl and how he hunts prey? So yeah, I was not a very good person when it comes to drawing people. I am improving, don't get me wrong there. I still need to improve very much, but I am improving. I am getting better at it. Therefore, practice makes perfect. And the tablet is dirty. Great. I always need to remember myself to make sure that I always erase every single breadcrumb of that bad boy. Because why is this orange? Why is this orange now? What happened to it? Why did it turn orange? I have no idea. I have a piece of paper here that turns orange overnight. I don't know. Something weird is going on. Probably some radiation or something. I don't know. Or heat. I think it is heat. Heat could be the problem. Heat can change pigments on paper. So yeah, probably heat. I should definitely not leave that in there. Oh well. Gonna remove that then later. It was actually paper. I like my art fancy, but my car's old and 100% mechanical. Oh yeah, baby. There is a thing about just getting a handle off and then drive it. I actually am able to drive a Porsche. How do you say, a Porsche tractor? Yeah, a Porsche tractor. An old Porsche tractor out of the 60s. My uncle had it, and I was able to drive it. I knew what to do with it and how to gas panels and all that stuff. And that thing was awesome. It was like, brrr, and then you put the gas panel on, and it's gonna be like, lovely. And then when you finally drive, it's like, brum. And then the whole thing shaked like a madman. Oh, it's so great. But yeah, the amount of detail that's put into it, beautiful. I mean, really, if anything, working on this piece of art is like working on creating some cooking. Yeah, there you go. Cooking. You can compare this to cooking. You need to set the right temperature, know every ingredient you need for the food to be perfect, tasteful, cook it on the right moment, and then, boom. Everything is working fine. And we're not even halfway done. But we're almost halfway. So that's good. That's good. That's great. That's awesome. So yeah, as I said before, this drawing, whew, it has some lot of things that I need to do. And the more I do, the better it gets. So don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about a thing. I will get this thing drawn in and colored in and fully done by this year. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe next year, but we will see. We will see. It's 1 hour a day, so therefore, it's a little bit difficult, but probably it will be done by February. Is that too high of a stake? Yeah, that's too high. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, May. May would be it. May would be a reasonable time to say that this is finished. By May, yes. So let's hope it's done by May, and then we can celebrate. Regular people, artists nowadays are like, by May, two years in. That's 2 years of drawing. Jeez Louise, why would you do that? And I'm just like, but I only did 1 hour a day, so technically I did way less than 2 years of work on it. If I would have worked on it, every single day, it would have been probably done by a month. But 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Probably done by 3 months. But because I only do 1 day a day, or one hour a day, then that of course excels into a very long time waiting. But since I only do 1 hour a day, I don't get tired of it, I don't get exhausted by it, and therefore I can continue my work. If I would have done this in a regular studio, they would have probably kicked my ass and said like, why are you working so low? And then I would have been like, because of this. And then I showed them my license of me not able to work properly because, well, that's me. But being able to fix the things that needs to be fixed, very important. Being able to learn how to do scheduling, like how long is this gonna take? And then I'm like, well, if I don't stream this will probably take 2 months or 3 months. If I stream this, however, it's probably gonna take 2 years. But it's good content. It's very learnful because I can look it back. Everybody can look it back and see my mistakes. Oh no, how bad. Mistakes, no. You cannot show mistakes. You cannot show what you're good at. You cannot show your way of thinking too good because, you're perfect. You cannot do that. That's horrible. That's a bad idea. And I would say to them, no, it's not a bad idea. It's a very good idea because if you can see your own mistakes while looking back at it, you can see the improvement you made all along. And because because you made improvement, therefore, you're motivated to create the next big thing. And seeing yourself improve over time is a very valuable asset. Most artists, if they lack any self-reflection, they probably gonna end up in a ditch somewhere. I don't know, but that's my experience. But if you don't have self-reflection, your art is gonna be looking very bad if you have a bad mood. All right. Normally, yes, your art will always look bad in a bad mood, but because you don't have self-reflection, your art will never be able to improve properly because of the mistakes you're gonna leave in the gaps, and those gaps can be very, very detrimental once you take it into a bigger picture. It's like looking at a glass of wine and taste the wine and be like, yeah, yes. This tastes like spit. This tastes like sewer water. It's like that fine aged wine that didn't age well because you put the wrong ingredients in it. You can be a very good wine maker, but if you put the wrong ingredients in the wine, people will hate it. And you didn't know because you were busy making that wine for 2 bloody damn years and waiting it to ripe for 5 years. And you have been on the same problem ever since. And people always say like, this tastes like strawberry. And you said like, but I didn't put strawberry in it. Yes, but it tastes like strawberry. And you constantly have that problem like, this is a problem that looks like strawberry. And yeah, you're supposed to not have strawberry in your wine. It's supposed to be all about grapes. I don't know. Probably there is grape wine. I don't know, because I know that I know that wine is made from grapes. So why don't they call it grapes wine? I don't know. It's made from grapes, most of the time. And yeah, people say that it tastes like strawberry, even though you're exactly knowing that you are sure that once that your father's recipe was exactly not with strawberry. So you are always wondering, like, why did always everybody told me that my wine tastes like strawberry? And it only took you like 5 years to figure it out because, well, somehow you waited 5 years to figure out the problem. Well, then after that, you're probably gonna fix your ingredients, and then people are like, yeah, this tastes like good old fine wine. So, it is, the immediate result of, waiting for far too long with the same problems because you didn't self-reflect on your problems, because you're like, no, this cannot taste like strawberries. It must be the people that are blind to it. I put grapes in it. So yeah, it's a self-reflection that then goes horribly wrong because, well, you did, well, not horribly wrong, but you didn't see the problem. You didn't see the problem, mate. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because I'm not gonna be able to do the coloring just yet because I need there for full concentration on the coloring. So, sorry about that. Tomorrow we're gonna be finishing this last bit. Sorry that it took so long for finishing one bloody damn piece of leaves, but oh well, it happens. So I hope you all have enjoyed for today. And thanks all for watching. And I hope I'll see you all next time. Until then, I wish you a lovely day. And bye!